Hey guys, it's John and Joni with Healthy Living in the Villages. And one of the things with healthy living is the chance of having an accident and an emergency room visit. So we thought we'd come on today to give you our experience of dealing with an emergency room visit. When you meet people here in the villages, there's like three basic questions that always come up, right? First one is what village you live in. And then another one is part-time, full-time, right? We hear that a
Right.
lot. Another one is what brought you to the villages. So that's a conversation we've had with a lot of people. So, and there's always interesting stories. But our story was a medical scare. And we've talked to a lot of people that same thing made them pull the trigger to come. So John had had a stroke. And luckily, you really don't have any residuals from that, right?
A little bit. People can't notice.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like really neat. So when that happened, John was a contractor working full time, and I was working full time. And it was one of our kids who's a nurse. I was looking at his test results, and she's like, you know what, guys, if you want to be there, why are you waiting? And I thought that was one of the moments in our life where we're like, you know what? And we closed everything down, sold the house, and got here pretty quickly after that. So I just think, maybe that's going to help somebody else out there that's trying to make the decision, when do we make the move, and all of that. So that also leads into something that made us think, when that stroke happened in Delaware, we were lucky to be living right on Boehner Boulevard that was super
It
close.
was 5 blocks. So from
Right.
the time I woke up to the time I was on a stretcher was 9 minutes. So we were really close.
Right. And
So once we moved down here, we had heard some things about medical system down here that wasn't all that great. We actually
hopefully,
took a test drive from here to the emergency room because we wanted to make sure we knew the route and see if there's any other strange circumstance like, oh, you need a key card to get in there or something. I don't know.
yeah,
Anyway,
smart.
so we decided to take a test run. Well, cut to a week later, playing pickleball. I'm out there crushing it, of course.
You were.
And I'm out there crushing it. And I take a step towards the net. There was like an explosion in my ankle. And I turned around to see what hit me because it felt like a hockey player had taken a stick and hit me in the leg. And I had ruptured my Achilles. So we jumped in the golf cart. I decided that by the time I got home, I'll just put some ice on it. We'll see what happens. By the time I got home, it was obvious there was a major problem. So went to the emergency room. And so we wanted to tell you what our experience was like in the emergency room.
So when we made it to the emergency room, so we're talking about the hospital in Spanish Springs. Yeah, beautiful building. I know that's got nothing to do with anything, but it really is a pretty building. And let's talk about like what the experiences
Well,
were.
I mean, it is, the grounds are beautiful, just like everywhere in the villages. The grounds are beautiful. We pulled up right out front. There was a wheelchair sitting there. I jumped in the wheelchair. Joni parked the car. You wheeled me in, and then you went out and parked the car. And by the time she came back in from parking the car, I had already been registered. Everything had been taken care of, insurance and all the rest of it. So it was clean and it was organized.
We were in Wilmington Hospital. We hadn't experienced an emergency room there, and so we can at least compare it.
Right.
And this was much
Yeah.
quieter, well run,
In
great experience.
yeah, when I had my stroke, we had to talk our way into the emergency
Oh
room.
my God.
They didn't want to let us in. They they
They were
they
going to
were
make us
suspect
wait.
because it's in the city, and you have a bunch of wackies that come in and try to get drugs and things. So we pulled up in our car unannounced, no ambulance. So they just thought we were some goofball coming in off the street.
They were going to make us wait in
They were going to make
the
us
waiting
wait.
room. I started to call for an ambulance, and the
We were
staff
going
was
to
like,
call it
"You can't do that." I'm like, "Well, I've
right.
got to do something."
We were going to call an ambulance, have them pick us up at that emergency room, and drive us to another hospital because there was obviously things wrong.
Yeah,
So
so
anyway,
this was
this
so much
experience
better.
was totally different from that. This was, hey, come on in. Let's take your information. Let's get your insurance. Let's get you signed up. Took me right to a examination area,
Okay, that's
right,
better. Yeah,
with the
examination
chairs.
area.
And so they took us to an examination area, got us settled down. Nurses came in, took all the other information. The little guy comes in with the computer on the wheels and
And everybody was
right,
super helpful, friendly,
right.
gave us good information, didn't keep us waiting. I loved that once the doctor saw you and they were like waiting for the x-rays to be read, and he came back in, he goes, I looked at it. We don't need to wait for the x-ray technician. I can tell you, what you need. We don't need to wait the hours it's going to take to get results. So I loved that. Instead of them just leaving us there waiting, he came back and he said, here's what's going on. Here's what I want you to do. I thought that was super helpful.
They put it in this handy dandy cast. Got in the car and went home. And then they sent me an email about signing up, getting an account on their software, which is super easy to use. And all the notes they want to send you, the reminders, the medication, everything is all on that app. Very easy to use.
That's good to know.
And
That's
then,
really
of course, they
helpful.
gave me reminders for other things that were going on.
I think that's great.
So
From the people that checked us in, to the nurses, to the techs, to the doctor, everybody really communicated well, took time. We didn't feel rushed. We felt like they took as much time as needed, let us ask questions. I was really felt very comfortable, which is huge when you're going through something like that. Huge. So one of the things that I love is, instead of John just waiting to get to the surgeon, he went online and found what could be helpful equipment wise for him to get to healing as quickly as he could.
I went online on Amazon and I found a little, one of those knee scooters. It was $150. And I chose the one that somebody had complained was too heavy, because I want to make sure I had one that was heavy duty. And
Link below.
yeah, there's a link
If you
below.
go through this ever, hopefully you don't,
And
but just in
then
case.
we have the wraps that you put in the freezer, and you can
Ice,
wrap,
yeah.
ice it up. So I had it on ice for like good 3 or 4 days.
The boot.
Yeah, I don't have the boot on. I have this on right now.
But before
I went
you
to the
saw
surgeon,
the surgeon.
I put a boot on because it protected my foot better.
Right.
And so I bought that. I think it was like $50 on Amazon.
So I mean, that's important. So you advocated for your own health in some respects,
Right.
until you got to the doctor. So I
Yeah.
think that's a good lesson to keep in mind, right? Advocate for yourself in a lot of these situations. But I love that you did all that. And, I think that's helped a lot with your recovery. And so, active lifestyle, this is going to happen. Although I do want to say that the doctor did say this was going to happen whether you're playing pickleball or not. So those of you that can be like, it's that
Oh, yeah.
pickleball, it did it.
I almost told people I stepped off a ladder because I didn't want to hear all the pickleball downers.
Yeah.
And to prove that I was right, the anesthesiologist talked to me for 15 minutes about the dangers of pickleball. So it would have happened no matter what.
Right.
I had
He
a
wasn't
bone
doing
spur
anything. Yeah, I'm sorry.
from 25 years ago that slowly got bigger and cut the Achilles
It sawed it.
like a little saw. And I actually had pain there for the last couple of years. It kind of would come and go.
Right. So he wasn't doing anything crazy on the pickleball court. I just want
Yeah.
to point that out. I wasn't playing with him at the time. You were on the
Yeah.
court next to me, but
Yeah.
you're playing with 3 other guys about your age, right? Everybody at the
Oh yeah, they
on
were
that
about our
group were.
age.
Yeah.
About our age. And I like playing with them. It's challenging.
Yeah, we have a great group on Thursday. That's what I do love about pickleball here. You can find groups of people to play with, and this group has been so nice. I think it is my favorite activity we do. I think because they were so kind. When we first moved here, I didn't know how to play. John knew how to play, but they were so kind, and they're all good. So it was nice to play. And Eileen and Kelly, the ladies that run our group, are just so phenomenal. They do a great job, and they've been reaching out to check on John's progress. But, that's part of an active lifestyle, right? Like, injuries can happen. So it's important is us knowing that the healthcare system works really well. They're really happy with it. And John's continuing to work out. So, I mean, we've been having to do some workouts, in a prone position, some sitting.
Some on the floor.
Yeah. So, but he's still getting his workouts in. So he'll be back to his dragon boats and everything else when this is all healed. And we'll keep you guys updated. And if you guys have any experiences with the University of Florida Hospital, let us know. But we're pleased to say we give it 2 thumbs up, and we're really happy with the care.
Yeah, no, everything went very well. Surgeon was great, anesthesiologist was great, nurses were great.
Yeah.
The only thing is I wanted a ride in the helicopter.
They did a call helicopter there.
I was hoping they could just, whip me around here, drop me off. But apparently that's not on the table.
So we'll see you guys next time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We love hearing from you guys and seeing you guys around the villages. Bye.
Bye-bye. A bit of a bump. Accelerator extender tool. Also used to be a shop vac.